Football is a simple game. It's not a sophisticated game. It's a game for the man on the terraces. It's a game to excite the people.
Evening everyone, TMA Sunday Night Live, where you choose the topics, we will discuss them. As always, we're proud and honoured to be in association with the Watford Football Club Former Players Club, fronted by Neil Price, Watford legend, and also Watford's favourite son, Luther Blissett. Head over to facebook.com, tailored made for community. As ever, I'm joined by Canadian Darren, Mr. Convict, the young man himself, Dino, and the man, the myth, the legend, Moobsy. All right, boys?
Afternoon.
Yeah.
John Cena. I love it, mate. I didn't see you yesterday, mate. I was going to look over where Woody was, but I couldn't see you.
I was only down there briefly, and then I shot up to my seat, so I got there a bit late. But
I bet you did.
Woody weren't there yesterday, so...
Love it. Dino's got a new haircut, everyone. So send him abuse in the comments. Right, okay.
That's in the Turkish jail.
It probably was, mate. He's had his teeth done as well. Brilliant. I love it. Well done, mate. Fair play. Right, okay. Yeah, I've had my hair done. Look. Turks have done that and all, mate. So it covers the grey, mate. So, right, okay. So, couple of topics lined up. Striker topics. Anything you want to add? Obviously, put in the comments and we'll try and read that out as well. So, let's get on with it. Right, okay, so Tony's put up Bio or Jefferson to start at Norwich. Young Darren, what do you reckon, mate?
Well, I think I would like to see Jefferson given a chance. I'm not going to get on Bayo's back because the couple he missed yesterday, they weren't absolute sitters. You know, just like yesterday when Dave was clear through at 1-0. And the thing that got me with that one, I think that was the worst miss because he knew he was clean through with nobody around him. Right? So you know, he knew he was clean through. He should have taken his time with a touch. He really should, and if he would have done that, he probably would have scored. I feel a bit bad for Bayo, and of course the whole Rajovic thing is a different argument. But I would like to see the other lad get a shot. Norwich are not in good form. Yesterday, I would argue for a neutral. That was one hell of a game of football. It really was. Coventry were magnificent first half. And I was just reading before I came online, and I'm not trying to get ahead of the game, but there's an article saying about Cleverley was in a bit of a flap when he saw the setup for Coventry from Mark Robins. And what I'd say to that is two things. Number one, Mark Robins has been an experienced manager for several years. And Coventry were in the playoff final, was it 2 years back, whatever?
Yep.
He's got a hell of a lot of experience. Cleverley's only got a few games under his belt. We've got to remember that. And what I'll say as a nod to Tom is, for as much as at the first half we were opened up and all over the place, second half we were magnificent. And my daughter's just arrived. Sorry, lads. Hey. So, yeah.
Hello.
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 But yeah, no, I think start Jefferson, give him a shout. We've got him for a reason. Let him get in there, see what he can do. Yeah, that's my thought. I'll put it on to the man in the Turkish bath.
Hey.
That's not a wanted poster. That's another god, by the way, James Hetfield. So, you know, people won't know, but that's another god.
I don't know who got you that. I don't know who got you that, mate.
No, nor do I. No, that must have been you. Yeah, that's right.
He hasn't got good taste in music, otherwise he'll have Bruce Dickinson. Sorry, mate. Got to carry on.
Oh, well, he's under God, you know what I mean?
Metallica are fanboys of Iron Maiden, mate. You know that.
Never. Yeah, I'm a bit like Darren. I don't want to get on Bo's back, but Jefferson is knocking on the door, and Bo's got one head of a competition. I don't know why Jefferson's getting a bit of stick at the moment. He's barely started for us. He looked more dangerous than Bo did in the first 5 minutes when Jefferson come on for me. He was getting stuck in. He come close on 2 occasions. I mean, really close. I really do like the look of the young lad. He looks strong. He looks powerful. He looks quick. Yeah. He's going to get a start soon. If he doesn't get start against Norwich, it'll be at home against Sunderland. So, no, it's good competition for Bo now, and he is going to He'll probably start against Norwich. Bio, he probably will start. But you know, Jefferson will give him competition, and he's knocking on the door now. So Bio has got to start scoring goals. If not, this young lad's going to take his chance soon, and he will bang some goals in for us. So I think he's going to be really important for us this season. Yeah, I don't know why he's getting stick at the moment. I think it's very unfair, but no, I can see a promising young talent there. Once he gets one goal, he'll be off, I promise you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think Bio is on a bit of borrowed time now, because I got to be honest, yesterday I wasn't impressed with him at all. I was actually glad when he got subbed off. Jefferson come on. Jefferson looked more lively than Bio did in 25 minutes. That's how bad I thought he was. But should Jefferson start at Norwich, do you know what? There's no harm in doing it, because we saw. I think one thing people have got to look back at last season. How many times did we bench Bayo? Then he comes on for like the last half an hour, then does a couple of bits, and even gets a goal or two. So it was quite clear that he is like sort of an impact player. Something that I used to be like. I'm more of an impact player now, because I normally like barging the hell out of people. More on that later. But Jefferson, when he come on yesterday, looked lively. He looked up for it. He was running. And I've got to be honest, for someone that looks about 6'6", and about 6 foot of that is his bloody legs. Yes, Sean, yes, the antique lampshade is still with us, and will be for the foreseeable future. You know, Jefferson offered us something completely different. He wasn't afraid to run at people. And I think he was. I think did he get harshly done for a free kick against him?
I think he did. Yeah.
I think he did. Yeah, because I looked at it. I thought, how on earth can you give that? He's not even touched him, and the bloke hit the deck like a sack of shit. So yeah, I think if Bayo, I think the scenario is going to be now. I think if Bayo starts next week at Norwich and doesn't do much, but then Jefferson comes on and tidies up, and and puts in another performance, I think the question then has got to start getting asked more: how much longer do you persevere with him before saying, you know what, you've had 6-7 games, possibly more than that, mate, you're not doing it, so you're gonna be benched for a bit. That's the way I see it. I know someone put up about, is it Dumbia? Dumbia. So I'll get his name right eventually. It's too many new names.
Yeah, I'm not perfect at names either, mate. So,
nah. But I also think he would. I think he should be given a chance as well at some point. Someone said he's played half hour in 2 cup games and done nothing wrong. So maybe that's something they need to look at.
Yeah, I agree, mate. There's only a matter of time before Jefferson starts. I personally would start him. My prophecy came true for once. I said at half time that the tactics were all wrong, but like we said, we put that down. Darren's absolutely right. We put that down to experience with Mark Robbins and stuff. And I'm not slaughtering Clevs for that, because that's going to happen. Even with experienced managers, a lot of the time it's a game of chess. And we managed to get a point out of it, so it's still decent point when you look at the first half. But it's only a matter of time before Jefferson starts. Bio works hard, no doubt about it, but he does not offer anything in terms of a goal threat, really, apart from that magnificent bicycle kick. Consistently, he does not score enough goals, and really, out of the two, Rivett should have stayed, and Bio should have gone. But that's not here or there. I think Bio definitely's got to be dropped. And I'm not hating on him. I just think, this is my opinion, I think Jefferson definitely should start. The lad, I keep forgetting him, the lad from Udinese should start, possibly on the left. I mean, Jesus, what a unit he is. He's like Bar. We saw him when he come running past their left back in the second half. It's like, Jesus, the pace of that kid is unreal. So I'd start him as well. Larouci, for whatever reason, he just had another poor game. There is a good player there, don't get me wrong. I just think We should mix it a little bit. Not do like Val did, change the fullbacks every single game. But I think keep Andrews on the right and have this lad on the left to see what he can do. Thank God Dave just had a back spasm. Hopefully he should be okay. Because I said to Dino, the thing is, and I'd love to see Vata play, but everything went through Dave until he came off. Sorry, got mixed up. The play didn't go through Vata when he came on. So it's a totally different thing. That team is built around Georgie by the looks of it. The way we play. It's not a bad thing. Problem is though, when he comes off, we've got to learn that we've got to mix it up a little bit more. So yeah, I'll definitely start Jefferson. I'll start that lad on the left. I would actually drop Kiembe and put Vata in. If we're going to play Kiembe as a 10, got 2 10s behind Jefferson. I think just for pace, I think Kiembe is more of a central midfielder. I mean, he looked good the first couple of games, but he's a central midfielder. And it's a bit like Siriauta. Siriauta looked decent against QPR, but we knew consistently Siriauta could not play that holding role. So we got found out after a couple of games, and I think Kiembe's starting to do that. He's still a good player, don't get me wrong, but it's the way it is, right. Yes, I'll definitely start Jefferson in short, boys. Right, okay, let's get a few comments out. Thank you very much, guys and girls. So big shout out to Caden, Vicarage Word on Twitter. He says, is that the wanted person behind Dino? That's for Halsey. Brian Jefferson is like deciding between a sugar plum fairy and Bambi. Obviously, big shout out to Sean Tucker. He shouted everyone out. Cheers, mate. It's great the Turkish authorities allow pictures in cells. Caden says Dumbier is better than Bio. and he only played 30 minutes across 2 cup games, so obviously, like Moobs has said. Agreed, Moobs, he let Jefferson start from Halsey. Sean still light above the head from Moobs. Stuart, a couple of good points. He says new strikers give us nothing. 6'10" striker we loan out. Come on, wake up. Bio brings nothing. Evening, Sonia. She says, good evening, Paul and the guys. Halsey Moobsy, was that Ernie the Milkman imposter last night?
Yes, it was an imposter. God damn it. What was that person thinking? More on that in a little while, actually. I'll elaborate on that a bit.
Yeah, exactly. No spoilers needed, boys. Girls will be finding out shortly. He says, looks like Darren needs to find hot toddy of the week. Right, so Mr. Higgins said we need a reality check. We don't have a spine in the team. I'm not getting carried away. Sheffield United, we were poor, and Coventry clueless. There's a lot of things you can look at. I mean, first off, we were clueless mainly because the tactics that we completely got outplayed tactically. They flooded our midfield. We've talked about this yesterday, but they completely flooded our midfield. Go on, mate. Carry on, mate.
Well, I was going to say was on that, about Klebs being young and learning. I would argue that in the last 5 years, we've had a series of far more experienced managers who would not have been able to change that around second half. We would have lost 3 or 4-0. I really do think that. I think credit to Cleverly and his coaching staff. They really stopped that dead in its tracks at half time, and that was a really good second half performance. But I think some of the more experienced or well-known managers we've had the last few years never had a plan B, wouldn't have stopped that, and we would have lost by about 3 or 4. I really think that.
Yeah, exactly. Just a massive shout out as well to Glenn from the Sky Blue Hub. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Big shout out to them. If you sub for them, that would be amazing. He says, "Evening, guys. Good game yesterday. You, as usual, versus Watford. You'll be top half at least. Thank you very much, mate. Just need that regular goal scorer up front. All the best, mate, for Coventry. Very good team. Always give us a game. Most of the time, beat us as well when they come to us. So all the best, mate. And Mark Robbins is a class manager as well. That just proves if you can stick with a manager, you have a solid team, and they're a very good team, mate. So cheers, Glenn. Thank you very much, mate. Mr. Higgins, second half. You set up still for 9 minutes. Absolutely, mate. Look, Stuart, I completely agree, mate. I mean, we said this. We can't just play second half. We've got to play 90 minutes. So you're absolutely right. Point for Coventry. Decent result. Good performance. I buy Coventry wasted a lot of chances. Oh my God, that's an understatement, mate. I mean, you should have been 4-1 up at half time. I
was going to say, especially
go on,
that
Moob.
one.
Sorry, mate. I'm rambling
No, I
on.
was just
Go on,
going
mate.
to say, just in regards to that last comment from Glenn, how on earth your player missed that practically an open goal when he ran onto it and did he side foot it or something? But I think you ended up catching it almost, didn't you? It flew over the crossbar that much.
I'll tell you what. I would like to say as well that I don't know what goalkeeper coaches were Watford. The amount of times he blasted it over from side foots, and you're like, "Come on, mate!" It's like 5 or 6 times. And we're like, supposed to be warming up the keeper, mate. You're not supposed to be trying to bury it in the top corner. This bloke yesterday, it was the one with the greased air back. He was by the 1881 bit, I think. And I'm looking at him. He hit one that was near us, and I'm like, that to him. It was like 3 people beside us. I'm like looking at him, go, "What the fuck are you doing?" It's like you're warming up. I know you occasional one you hit over when you're trying to hit it at him, but he was doing it like 4 or 5 times. It's like, come on, behave, mate.
Yeah, that's not what you need.
I know, because people been hit before. I know we expect you've got to look out for him, but it's the amount of times he was hitting it over. It's like, come on, mate, behave.
Yeah.
Just shout out. Sorry, I'm rambling on, boys. I'll let you boys talk for once. I'd like to big shout out to the catering in the middle of the rookery, bottom middle of the rookery, because one of the guys kindly asked me some questions. What do you think of the service and everything? I've never had a problem with it. I know people have had complaints and stuff. No, he just asked me feedback when I was buying my pint. I said the only thing I would say is we've charged us £6.10 for a pint before the game, and they're supposed to be cheaper when you turn up 45 minutes before. And it charged us £6.10 for a bloody pint yesterday. I said, apart from that, mate, I said, I've got no problem with the catering. Because
I was going to say, sorry, mate, they haven't stopped doing that, have they? Because
it was £6.10 yesterday when I went in there, and we were in there about an hour and a half before, about an hour, just over an hour before. So
yeah, it makes me wonder if they've stopped doing that thing.
That's
and
bollocks if they stop doing that, isn't it?
I think they have. They've not said a single thing about it.
I'll be complaining if so, because that's bollocks. You know?
Yeah, trust me. One of the lads I found, I was with yesterday, got found out in the pub trying to get a free drink off the app, and they were like, "We don't do the app anymore." And it's like, how the bloody hell can you not?
Exactly. Just let us know. See, they all subscribe to the email. Just send an email to all the people that have gone on the app. You thought so, wouldn't you? Right. Okay. Sorry, boys. I'm rambling on. Right. Let's get straight on to the next one, because I'm hogging the bloody limelight here. Right. Okay. Dan saying seems to we still don't have a striker. Just how ridiculous was loaning out Ryovic? Right, Moobs, you go first, mate, and we'll go back round that way.
I actually think it was pretty stupid loaning him out. I've got to be honest. I was not a fan of this when I saw it come up, because I really thought when they said, "Oh, Ryovic is leaving," I thought it was complete and utter rubbish. But then they said he's gone out on loan, and I'm like, why the hell are you sending somebody out on loan? And as somebody flashed up a comment yesterday, there was, I remember in the first half, we had swung a crossover from the left-hand side, and you had Bayo and Kayembe. Both of them jumped for it in the 6-yard box, and both of them bloody missed it. I'm sorry, how the hell can you miss that? Can you miss a ball like that coming in? And as someone said, if Ryovic had been on that pitch, he'd have nutted that straight in the back of the net. So I think loaning him out is a stupid idea. I don't think it's the right thing to do. But someone did say where I was sitting yesterday that we've got a recall option if it doesn't work. So I'm not quite sure that would work with squad and everything. But yeah, no, I am against it in a big way. I don't agree with loaning him out. Yeah, sure, exactly, mate.
Yeah.
I think there was a couple of chances in the second half. He was like, it was. I think we smacked the ball across the 6-yard box on the floor. What does he like doing? Put me in the 6-yard box, give me the ball, I'll put it in the net. No one there. Literally no one there. And you're like, what are you doing, boys? You know, and one thing I'll say about our goal yesterday, and I was screaming for it to happen, was somebody from the midfield to break out and gamble going to the back post. And what happened? Deli Bashu finally decided he wanted to gamble, and it paid off, and we got the goal. Otherwise, we wouldn't have scored. So, but But my overall opinion, no, we should not have loaned him out at all.
Dino, mate. Also, we'll give this to Dino as well. Moobs, will you play 2 up top? We'll throw that out to Dino and Darren as well.
If you play 2 up top, you've got to play a system that can be effective to 2 up top. And that means having a plan, because I think yesterday, and I will say this, I don't think we had a plan B or plan C in place. That's my overall view of it. We did not have backup options. And I think the only way things started changing, and I've got to give Backman some credit, hitting the deck, claiming to be injured and getting those players over there for a bollocking. He did the right thing, stopping the game when he did.
How many other teams do it to us? So,
exactly. And I actually said to people around me, did Backman communicate with the bench to say, do you want me to go down and fake an injury without anyone spotting it? So, but yeah, if you play 2 up top, you've got to change the formation round. I think we've got a team that could do it, but it's whether the manager wants to do it. And I don't think Klebs wants to go 2 up top. He seems content with this 1 there, 2 behind, 3 in the middle. You know, it seems to be a set way. And they're not, I mean, even when players come on, they're just filling positions. Like with Morris yesterday, he come on straight away, the back 3, he went into the back 3. You know, and when like Jefferson come on, Jefferson's up front on his own. It's, you know, I'd like to play 2 up top, give it a go, but I don't see the managers doing it.
Yeah. So, Dino, mate. So, what we got? So, seems that how ridiculous was loaning out Rajovic, and also would you play 2 up top?
Yeah, I was upset at Rajovic going. I personally, you know, we all say Bo's supposed to be good in the air, and I'd really see him win a bloody header, and I think Rajovic is better in the air than Bo. So I was quite shocked at that. You know, I think, was he our top goal scorer last season, Rajovic, if I remember?
14, wasn't it?
I think he was. So why'd you sell them? I know it weren't many, but why'd you sell your top goal scorer? It don't make any sense to me. As for playing 2 up top, I just don't think it'll work with our team. You know, nearly every team that have come and dominate us, it's always in centre mid, and I think you taking another midfielder out of there, I think we'd really struggle like we did yesterday. I know we're supposed to have 3 centre mids, and it didn't work yesterday. We got totally dominated in the first half, but to play 2 up top, you've got to have a striker that really holds up the ball, and we've got no one up top that's good enough to bring the ball down or strong enough. They always seem to get knocked off the ball too lightly for me. Or they lose the header. It drives me nuts that a striker can't win a one-on-one header now and then. It drives me absolutely insane. You know, I don't expect them to win every header, but I expect them to win 1 or 2 aerial battles against the centre-back. Then you can bring the wingers in. So I think the only time we might chuck 2 up top is when, you know, we've got 10, 15 minutes to go and we're losing the game. That's the only real time I'd go for it and chuck 2 strikers up. But besides that, I can't see it working for us as a team. I really can't. I don't think we got a good enough pair to do it, to be honest with you. So it'd be a no on that, I'm afraid.
What do you reckon, Dan?
Yeah, I think similar to the guys, I was very, very disappointed to see Rajovic go. Didn't make that felt, because things are feeling pretty good at Watford right now, but that felt very much like a post-go decision rather than a Tom Cleverley one. I think Bayo would have been the guy to go out for me. I think we would all agree on that. Rajovic, you know, and Tom was saying this all at the start of the season, he's the first guy at the training field and he's the last to leave. Tremendous attitude, wants to improve, wants to learn. I think you want people like that in your squad. So that was a real disappointment. And I like I said at the beginning, I feel for Bayo, but that was a shame. And the whole 2 thing up front, I agree exactly what Dino said. I see that more of a 15 minutes to go, maybe chasing a goal or something. But other than that, I think it will stay with the 1 up front, which seems Tom's preferred way of playing, which is fine. But yeah, I'd like to, you know, I didn't know about like Moob said about the buyback or the loan back option, you know, to recall Rajovic. that's something possible in January, I think it'll be good. But yeah, it was a real surprise that. And as you say, especially when you look back, we lost our captain and player of the season. Now we've lost our leading goal scorer. Now, overall, I've been really happy with the window, but that's putting Tom and the lads in a bit of a tight spot, to be fair. So we'll see. I don't know. What do you think, Pidge?
Yeah, I was upset him going. The only thing I would say is it's probably a tactical thing because there's no other reason why you would get rid of him, especially top scoring. What he brings to the team when we need it. Like he always said that his job starts around the 6-yard box. So yeah, I wouldn't play 2 up top, but saying that, I'll probably completely contradict myself now. If it's needed in the last 10 minutes and we need to go rigid 4-4-2 or have 2 up top, then yeah, I would, but I wouldn't start with it. But it's certainly an option, it's like chucking on a tall player and lumping it forward for the last 5 minutes. It's an option that we may be able to do, but I wouldn't start with it. Definitely not. Right, Stuart Klebs will get caught out. His record today is okay. To date is okay, but will change. Nice guy, needs to be ruthless, otherwise he's gone. Let's get a few. Yeah, go on, mate.
Not being an arse, but I want to ask Stuart something. He hasn't posted anything positive today, and he's entitled to not post anything positive, right? Because it's, as you always say, it's about views. I wonder, serious question for Stuart, because we're 5th in the league, which is decent. So if it's that shit, Stuart, what do you think is good about the squad this year? What do you think is good about what Cleverley's doing? Because I see a lot of positives. So I'm not knocking the guy. He's absolutely entitled to an opinion. But if we're 5th in the table, I just wonder what Stuart thinks is good about it, or how it's so bad, because I'm really struggling with what he's putting up on the screen.
I think.
Cool. Yeah, Stuart. Yeah, put it through, mate.
I'll tell you what. I think one thing I would have done with yesterday is I probably wouldn't have named the same starting 11. I actually think I said this to a few people. How many of those players that went on international duty come back late again? Because we highlighted how bad the first half was, and you think the likes of Kayembe went to Congo, and some of the others went travelling off around the world. How late did they get back? And was it a case of you've had one training session before a game? And they've come out and it's just gone, I'm not up for this today. Yeah. I think actually what probably should have happened was the likes of maybe, say, Vata should have probably been given a start yesterday. And the likes of Dave, as we'll refer to him, and one or two of the others maybe should have just sat on the bench for an hour, and then bring them on. Ken Sema can't even get a game. Laruzzi, like we were saying, Laruzzi earlier didn't, that shot in the first half, bloody hell, even I could have done better than that, with a left foot and all. And I think maybe he should have probably had a start. So it does make me wonder if there was a few little things yesterday that, sort of disrupted our rhythm. Yeah. All right, yes, commentary done a number on us in the first bloody 10 minutes. That's just yet again, exactly, Dino, exactly. I'm not going to even, I'm not even going to paper over that because we can't keep starting like that. You just cannot. But yeah, I just think like what Stuart just said in the last bit, he cleverly needs to get ruthless. I think yesterday was actually the time to get ruthless and say, right, 3 or 4 of you are going to have to sit on the bench because you come back late and you don't look up for it. I would say that's what I would have done. I know. Is it Man City this week in the Cup?
Next week.
Next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say because otherwise, you'd ring the changes.
Yeah, Champions League this week. I think that's why they moved it.
Oh crap! Yeah, it is.
Someone told me. I said that makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Champions League kicks off this week. Yeah, because BBC were advertising the highlight package. But yeah, for me, I would have said, sit some of them on the bench, have a rest, put your feet up because, yeah, like I say, the first half yesterday, we all said it, diabolical. Except Sierrata and Pollock, who somehow saved our backsides. God knows how many times. Especially that.
Yeah.
I still can't work this out. You guys sit closer to the goal than me. How did Sierralta clear that off the line with his head?
He was my man of the match. Outstanding. He was outstanding yesterday.
Mine as well.
He was vintage Dino, mate. It was vintage Dino.
I still haven't worked out how he got his head on that and flicked it over the crossbar. The
bravery for him. I mean, Pollock is our outstanding defender this season, but Sierralta was just turned into prime Maldini for that game.
Yeah,
he really did.
Indeed.
It was absolutely amazing. Oh no, sorry. I'll correct it. Prime David Oldsworth. As well. Yeah. Big Dave. It's a big Dave there. Right. Okay. But a couple of shouts before we get to the news. Right. Yeah. So Stuart's answered. He says only positives, Darren, are the youth system making a claim to wear the shirt, which, as you stated, the positives. The international players look sluggish. Balance is more. Homework needed to win games. Mr. Spike, evening, mate. He says, I think we are doing okay. Just need to start a game like we play in the second half. Lack confidence at the back, though. What is your best 11? Michael, we'll quickly go round and do that for you before we go. Dan, this season at last is chalk and cheese, attacking football and a squad that clearly cares. Pollock was man of the match. I mean, you could have Pollock or Sierralta, so I wouldn't argue with either, mate. Yeah, both of them are immense. So was Dave. A lot of people put Dave down as man of the match. Right. Okay, quickly, boys, before we go to the news. Darren, mate, what's your best 11, if you can recall? Who would you put in there?
That's a really good shout. It's tough. I mean, the one thing I've got to say, we all agree, like Pollock for me has been an inspiration this season. He is a future club captain. Really like the way that kid's been allowed to mature and grow, and a tremendous player. I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to think. What I would up front, I wouldn't start Bayo. I would go with our new lad, and I don't know. And it was a good point. I think it was Moobs was on about, and Stuart said too, with the guys away in international duty, hopefully again, Tom's first international break. So hopefully he will learn the next one, because it's a good point. You see it with all the, so many clubs, they try and rest those players, because they could, like you say, they probably have one training session, and where the other guys who didn't go away have had a best part of 2 weeks on the field there. So I don't know, just a couple of tweaks for me. Definitely drop Bale on the bench. What else? I don't know. I'll let the lads chat more on that one.
Go on, Dino. What's your lineup, mate?
I hate to sound boring. It's near enough the squad we had. I would swap Bayo from Jefferson, and I would swap I would put Morris in instead of that bloke. I don't know what's happening. He looks a bit tired at the moment. The other new signing we got, he looked good on the first game. He looks like he's going to be more of an impact player to me. So me personally, I'd start Morris. Yeah, me personally, I think he's going to be more of an. He don't still look match fit to me. I think I'd rather have Morris there on the left and Andrews on the right. I weren't too happy with Andrews. I was giving him quite a bit of stick yesterday because on 3 occasions his man got in front of him. But he's got to have game time to learn this. You've got to be patient. He's young. He is getting better. He's got one hell of a strike on him, and he's got a great cross, Andrews. So he's got a lot of promise. And to be honest, I think Morris is slowly getting chucked out of the team again, which I don't want. I want our young players to come in and get this experience. So I'd have him back in the team because he's another promising young talent that we need to keep playing. So I'd have him on the right. And I'll pretty much keep the same, just Jefferson up top instead of Bayo. Besides that, I'm quite happy with the squad.
Right, I'll go give mine in a minute, Moobs. What's yours, mate?
Kind of agree with what's already been said. I think you've got to take Bayo out of the attack. I think, like Stuart's saying, that I think at some point they're going to have to try and find a place for Varta. The boy was lightning quick when he come on in the second half yesterday. I think he should have actually been on at half time, to be honest. I'd have pulled Dave at half time. Just, take him out of the equation. Just go, right, you've got 45 minutes in the league. Go for it. Go and show everyone what you can do. It is a toss-up with Laruzzi and Morris at left wing back. I just think the only reason why Laruzzi's getting the nod at the minute is because he seems to be bombing forward more. I think Morris at times, I know Dino might say different, but I just felt there was times last season, if I go back to last season, where Morris needed to bomb on and he didn't. Whereas Laruzzi is trying to go at every single opportunity. He's basically saying, give me the ball, let me run. Or if he hasn't got the ball, he's suddenly sprinting up the outside saying, give me the goddamn ball. But yeah, it's an incredibly tough one because I still think, apart from his goal yesterday, I wasn't impressed with Deli Bashu. I was really hacked off with him. There was too many times. I thought there was about 3 or 4 times in the first half he just lost the ball stupidly when he didn't need to. So I just, I don't know. I think he needs to look over his shoulder a little bit, just a little bit at the moment. But I'd like to see a little bit more of an improvement from him. I think it's great he's getting a run because he deserves it. But if you start making those errors and I'll go back to Millwall away last season, Livermore had to get him out of trouble on 3 occasions. Yeah. And when he looked at him to say, wake up, the attitude back was, it was nothing short of disgraceful from him. So he needs to work on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's only 1 or 2 changes I'd make. The rest of the team picks itself.
Yeah, right. Right, Backman in goal, right wing back, right and left wing backs. To be honest, I put Andrews and the left back. I either play the lad from Udinese on there or play Ken Semmer at the moment. The back 3. The problem is with Morris. I was impressed, but then he got caught out so many aerial duels against Sheffield United. I put Agbonna when he's fit, Siriauta and Pollock. Then you put midfield. I've put obviously Sissoko and Tom Dele-Bashiru. If obviously Tom don't play, then I'll put Kiembe in that middle. Then I put Vata and Dave in front of Jefferson.
Good call.
It's pace there. I mean, on the left, okay, you won't have a natural left footer if you don't have King Ken or Morris or Larucci. But if you play that lad there, I mean, he's big, strong, powerful. Or if you don't have Vata alongside Dave, I'd play Bar there. Because Bar's a big unit as well. You imagine.
Good shout.
I mean, you saw Coventry yesterday. Had some big units running at us yesterday. And you imagine some of them running at defences if we play those 2 lads. The Udinese, sorry, I'll keep forgetting his name. Udinese lad and Bar. I mean, both of them are big units and quick as well. So, I'll drop Porto for literally anyone. Porteous yesterday, I thought was poor. Agbonna, when he's fit, I'd have him as the experienced one behind. Siriauta and Pollock for me, based on yesterday, will definitely be starters. 110%. Right, okay, we've got to quickly go, boys. Just a big shout out to Big Dave. He said he was class against Hibs. He said Hobbs, but I think he says Hibs. Hobnobs. And heard about and not heard much about him since then. Any news? I know Dino likes him. Yeah, I mean, Tom Ince, you bring him on as an option behind Jefferson, in the second half. Your Big Dave, he loves you, doesn't he, mate? He paid for your bail, mate, so he must love you, mate. So, right, okay, let's get on to Ziners. Are you ready, mate?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Yes, hello, people. And as Sean mentioned earlier, this week the Lampshade returns, the Antique Classic that will be on Antiques Roadshow next time around. Well, that's when they come to Hemel, that is. Anyways, enough of the Lampshade because it's not part of it. Right, so I'm going to do some news. I think we'll start with... Let's start with the girls. Unfortunately, today didn't have a game as it was called off due to... We should have been going to Plymouth Argyle. I know, long way to go. We should have been down there today. but unfortunately it was called off because Plymouth had a preliminary cup round game that they had to play today. So we have got a rearranged fixture. We don't know when it's going to be played. According to the girls that some of them that we spoke to, you sod. According to some of the girls we spoke to the other week, we believe the Plymouth game won't get rearranged this side of Christmas. They don't think there's enough room in the calendar to get it played, unless it would be like a Thursday night, which would be absolute suicide if it was. So that will probably be arranged for some point next year. But with no game today, that means they had a lovely weekend off. That's only because they went and smashed last weekend. As you probably saw, MK Dons a whopping 8-0. Should have been a lot more, but their keeper did very, very well to keep the scoreline down. And we actually applauded her off at the end of the game, despite her conceding 8. And also, we got to say a big shout out to Megan Chandler, our captain, because she clocked up 100 appearances for the girls, for the women last weekend. Total great achievement. Love Meg to bits. She is one proper leader on that pitch. So yes, a big congrats to her. Whizzing forward next week, the girls are back in action. They're back at Wealdstone next week. We are going to be taking on Cheltenham Town ladies. 2:00 kickoff. You know the score, guys. Go to watfordfc.com/tickets, sign in with your fan ID, get a ticket, you get discount. You can basically get 50% off. So it'd be great to see as many people over there. And I can confirm this season, if you haven't already been, we've got a bit more noise with us this year because we have a drum. Yes, people, we have a drum, and everyone's loving it. Unless you're the opposition backline or even the goalkeeper, because they really do not like it. But it's here to stay. So if you want to come and join us, come make some noise. Please do. It'd be great to have everyone, great to have more people there with us, singing and chanting. The girls appreciate all the support, whether it's home or away. So it will be brilliant. Little bit of non-league is, God Almighty. I'll say what, it's 1 week you're up, the next week you're down. If you're a Hemel Town fan, you're probably kicking yourselves because yesterday we had the FA Cup preliminary round. I think it was the second round. Played at home to Bishop Stortford and lost by 0-0. I tell you, we are absolutely cursed in that competition right now. Bad day at the office. It's Hemel's first defeat overall this season. One thing I will say is that St Albans City mind the gap. That is a fact, and you can't change that right now. Oh dear! I wondered Cartman went in goal and conceded. That must have been a late change. You want the weather as well, Sean? Quickly, well, it's probably dry and bright, mate. As far as I know, I don't really pay attention to the weather these days. But yeah, gutted for Hemel yesterday. He loves a cut hard dirty sod. But guys and girls, just a very quick one. If you are, because with the Golden Boys being at Norwich City next week, Hemel Town are actually at home next Saturday afternoon at 3:00. I actually can't remember who they're playing. In the back of my mind, it's saying it's Cheltenham or Chelmsford. I think it might be Cheltenham. But anyways, if you're in the Hemel area and you want to go to a game, come on down. 3:00 kickoff, 15 quid game for adults. Unsure about the rest of it. I think it's £10 for concessions and about £5 for kids. So certainly worth coming down, cheering on the Tudor Army. Various other teams will be at home, and lots of them play. Jesse, I know Kings Langley won 2-0 away. Leverstock Green are having a terrible. More of that in a quick second, mate. I know Leverstock Green having a torrid time after being promoted. They have not won a game yet this season. They got thrashed 3-0 by Rail Bedford. Tell us now. Well, okay. Well, I was going to say that was a very quick roundup. So yes, Mr. Harles is known as a bit of a karaoke singer for those of you that don't know. There is video evidence somewhere of it. I know that for a fact. I don't have it, but someone else has. And last night, someone decided to impersonate him on a karaoke night and do Mr. Halsey's song, which is Ernie, the fastest milkman in the West. If you know that one, if you're old enough to know it, have a little sing song, see if you can do better. Can safely say the person that done it didn't do a good job. It was absolutely shocking. So we will get Halsey to do it again at some point, and we will video it for you. So yeah, mate, whoever that was, that person needs a slap on the wrist in a big old way. And that is that. Thank you.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, at least we found out what was going on there anyway. But right, guys and girls, next week I'm on me 2 to 10 shifts at work. So there will be no verdicts or Sunday, but there will be Thursday night live with me and the legend Super Danny Iron. So we'll preview the game coming up. So legendary tune, That Woman Was Awful.
She was awful. She was. It was dire. It was dire.
It's Kieran Dyer, mate. That's how bad it was.
It's more than Kieran Dyer, mate, I tell you.
Right, okay, yeah, so we'll see you Thursday night. It probably be 9 p.m. Thursday night, but I'll obviously advertise it and tell you the time and all the links and everything like that. So like a big shout out once again, happy heavenly birthday, 80th birthday to GT, Watford's greatest ever manager, God. So yeah, as you can see, we've got a little badge up top and we did a tiny bit in the intro as well. So always be remembered, amazing manager, amazing gentleman, amazing guy. If everyone had the pleasure of meeting him, absolutely amazing. So hopefully celebrating up on high and looking down on everyone. Right, she will never take the geezer. Here. could be taking Kev. I mean, we never know. Really don't know. Right, okay, guys and girls, we're going. So thank you ever so much. I know. So here we go. Right, you've been beautiful. We've been TMA. It's good night from the Canadian.
Good night from the man in the bath.
It's good night from Moobs.
Good night from Pidge, not the lampshade. Pidge.
Yeah.